In 1938, a widowed black woman stepped off a train in upstate New York with $33 in her pocket. Not 33,000, 33. She used it to buy a stove, an icebox, a table, and 4 chairs. 60 years later, the state of New York passed an official resolution mourning her death. Jackie Robinson had eaten at her table. Cab Calloway drove hours for her chicken. Mikhail Baryshnikov sat in her dining room, and Bobby Flay walked into her restaurant on national television, ready to crush her recipe. Hold on to that. We'll come back to it. Her name was Hattie Moseley Austin, and the most extraordinary thing about her isn't the fame. It's what she did at 3 a.m. every night for 60 years. Hattie was born around 1900 in St. Francisville, Louisiana. The exact date? Nobody knows, not even her. Her mother died bringing her into the world. Her father, a widower with a newborn in Jim Crow, Louisiana, had no money and no plan. Then a woman named Hattie Leopold knocked on the door, the wife of the local rabbi. And in a state where black families and Jewish families lived under different versions of second class, she did something almost no one would have predicted. She helped raise the baby. That baby was named in her honor. Remember that knock. The whole story comes back to it. Hattie grew up, moved to New Orleans, then Chicago, where she became personal cook to A.E. Staley, the Starch King, one of the wealthiest men in America. Mansions in Chicago, Miami, and a summer place upstate called Saratoga Springs. Then in 1938, at the height of the Great Depression, she walked away. Stop and feel this. She was a black woman, recently widowed, no children, no family waiting in Saratoga, no safety net. Banks weren't lending to people like her. Landlords weren't renting to people like her. 1 in 4 Americans was out of work. 1 bad month and she was on the street, in a town that froze solid in winter. She walked away anyway, with $33. "I didn't have but $33, she said. "I bought a stove, an icebox, table and chairs. It was very shoestring." And she opened the door. Now picture Saratoga, 3 a.m., racing season. The bars have just emptied. A jazz trumpeter is still wiping sweat off his neck. A jockey who lost his mount's race is staring at the table, picking at the label of an empty bottle. A bank president sits 2 stools down from a stable boy who smells like a horse stall, because an hour ago he was standing in one. A homeless man pushes the door open. He has no money. He knows it. Hattie knows it. She sees him, nods, sits him down, brings him chicken, brings him coffee. Doesn't say a word about the bill because there isn't going to be one. In 1938, in America, while most restaurants in town wouldn't seat him at all. She did this every night, for 60 years. And we still haven't gotten to the night Bobby Flay walked in. The food got around. Jackie Robinson came to eat. Cab Calloway made detours for her chicken. Baryshnikov sat in her dining room. None of it changed her. When a neighborhood family lost a teenage son in a car accident, Hattie catered the surviving daughter's graduation party. For free. Because the grandmother wasn't up to hosting. That's who she was. In 1968, the city decided to renew her neighborhood. Federal Street, bulldozed. Most black-owned businesses on that block disappeared forever. Hattie's didn't. Local law says she walked into the mayor's office and reminded him, gently, that when he was a boy, she'd been the one giving him cookies. She got her new spot, 45 Feeler Street, where the restaurant still stands. She kept cooking until she was 92. Now, Bobby Flay. 2006. Food Network, cameras everywhere. He walked in confident, he walked out beaten. On national TV, Hattie's Chicken, the recipe a black orphan with $33 built from scratch, was judged the best in America. Hattie wasn't there to see it, She died 8 years earlier. She didn't need to be. Today, every dollar of profit at Hattie's goes to local charity, feeding people who can't pay, exactly the way she did at 3 a.m. for 60 years. And here's the thing, it started with a knock. A Jewish woman in 1900 Louisiana choosing to feed a baby who wasn't hers. That baby grew up and fed a town for 60 years. Hattie had $33 and no safety net. She built a table the whole country came to. Stories like Hattie's don't trend. They survive because someone decides they're worth passing on. If she moved you, share this with one person. Just one. That's how a table gets bigger. And follow, so the next name like Hattie's doesn't disappear quietly.